show and the Spider-Man show in the '90s was my introduction to Marvel.
Yeah.
So this is how I learned about all this stuff in the first place. So getting back to their roots could really help reset Marvel Studios because they were off track for a while.
Right. Well, I think it's because, and to be fair, I think DC and Marvel does this. A lot of the material they pick from, like, okay, can we kind of what decades could we say Marvel and DC were at their best with comics? There's a lot of people say the 90s,
The '90s,
early
probably
2000s.
the '80s,
I don't,
'90s.
no, I wouldn't say that. I'll like at their very best.
Yeah, like they're very like what decades were their very best when it came to like comics for
I think thousands before New 52 reboot was DC's
right.
best
And
comic stuff, but then also 80s was quite good.
Yeah.
Um,
So we say like the 80s to the 2000s for Marvel and DC for the most part. And I
yeah,
think with some of the new stuff we've been getting from them, like the MCU stuff and the DC stuff, they've been pulling from like the whole DCEU, New 52 pull, right? Pulling from New 52. I'm not saying New 52 was bad. I'm not saying it was good, but it was not received well by a lot of people. And it was pulling a lot from that. And I say even Marvel Studios now is pulling from a lot of comics and stuff, like more modern comics that people aren't really resonating with, you know. And I'm just saying, you might have to go back and pull that's some 90s stuff, like some 80s stuff, bring that stuff back, and just give it some new life, because that's when the source material was really fucking good.
Right, I agree with that.
I mean, I just think like my approach, especially with DC, and but also with X-Men, because like X-Men was fantastic, in the '90s and stuff. I think they had a real kind of renaissance in the '90s after the animated series, but just before then with Chris Claremont as well, which what a lot of the animated series was based on. But my approach would be is like it's very easy. Like if a director wants to do a movie of a particular character, especially DC, just go on like top 10 comics of this character, and then you can compare a list of like say 20, and the comic books that keep coming up, go and read them, and then draw some inspiration from them.
Yep.
It's that simple. I don't really see what the big complex issue is with because there's enough material in just maybe like 10 or 20 comics for each character.
But they do that though, like the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. It
Oh,
kind
they
of
do
drew.
it for Batman.
Yeah,
They do it.
It kind of drew from Hush. It was like Hush and the Riddler. Well, Hush is the Riddler, so but it kind of told the Hush story a bit. They changed it some and added some different elements to it, but it was basically Hush all over again.
It was Hush, but it was also they took from the Riddler from Batman Year One, Earth One, Volume
Right.
2. They took a bit from what was it, the one with the Halloween, the Long Halloween.
Yeah, the long. That's the one. Yeah, the Long Halloween.
Yeah. They took bits from all of those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Batman, and that's why the Batman films come out so consistently, I think, quite quality in terms of like the movies, because ever since even the days of the Burton movies, they were always drawing inspiration from the classic Batman comics. Whereas for some reason with other characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, even Shazam, they actually really did adapt one of his best comics, and I think the guy. It's so unfortunate that he gets dogged on, because I think more than anyone apart from Batman, like those two movies drew a lot from Shazam lore, and did a lot in kind of showing love to the source material. But whatever, it is what it is. But definitely, yeah, like with the Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, I think they could have drawn a lot more heavily on like the comic kind of runs, and just taken like bits and fleshed out a story from like the top 10 best comics of theirs.
I agree.
And I think because we do got another topic we do got to hit. But final thing I would say overall is Marvel, DC, just pick from y'all best shit. Read y'all shit. Pick from y'all best shit. Y'all know what it is. That's why I'm gonna just say this. I'm excited a little bit for James Gunn DC because he's pulling from
He's not pulling from the best stuff. He's pulling from the modern stuff. So
no. He's pulling that guy who did All-Star Superman.
oh, he's pulling a little bit from that. Yeah, Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison, even his the Batman movies inspired by some of
Grant Morrison's Batman.
all that stuff is like early 2000s, early 2000s and 90s damn near. So I'd say
No, but if
go back to the roots a bit.
Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
because I'm just saying I think the modern stuff needs a little bit more time to resonate with society. The 90s stuff came and it's like
It resonated, yeah.
it resonated. The modern stuff they're pulling from now is like stuff that you need to wait until time tells if it's really good or not.
Right. I agree.
They're like the whole like even with the Batgirl movie, like they was trying to go inspire a bit or based off her Burnside suit and everything. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's like you could have went with like a better Batgirl suit. You don't went with a more traditional Batgirl suit from like the early 90s.
Where are you, bro?
I'm not saying it was gonna be bad, but it's like you could have pulled from something a little bit more established before pulling from new shit that people are like kind of like up in the air about.
Where are you, bro? And I've got one more point.
I'm at home. This is where I live at.
Oh, where's that?
It's
You don't have to say.
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I used to live for a little bit in Texas. Anyway, so I don't recognize it, but I just
No,
But I was going to say one thing about your boy James Gunn. He was asked a question after X-Men 97. Do you think they should do a revival of the Justice League? Do Justice League 2000? No,
I would if it wasn't completed, but it was completed, so I'd say no. But because this is the thing, if you're not going to bring back like Bruce Timm and Paul Dano and most of the OG people that was working on that, I really don't want to see.
The OG people weren't working on X-Men 97, and plus, what's his name? What's our boy's name who did the Batman, the original series? Bruce Timm. Completely lost it. Completely fucking lost it. No one can tell me any different. I think he's overhyped, and I think actually after the Batman, that Batman.
Look, I would say that. Wait, Nerman. I'll say something. No, I'll say it was something that's more integral. Something that's more integral to that Justice show. Dwayne McDuffie, but he passed away.
I was about
Dwayne McDuffie is way more integral to the success of Justice League, Static Shock, and all that. So, I wish he was still alive. Rest in peace to the man. But
right.
if he was still alive, like, hey, do that shit.
Dwayne McDuffie,
but maybe Dwayne McDuffie.
There's another one. There's another one
probably
mention as well, because Dwayne McDuffie was, I think, the secret source behind that Justice League, and then I think it was him or another black dude who did the first animated movies, like that. The animated movies of DC that everybody like goes, oh yeah, those ones were wild. Those ones were really cool. There was another black guy that was responsible for that as well, and the woman who directed the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was also the one who was doing those early DC movies. Anyway,
I'm not saying they can't do it, but the reason X-Men 97 is even continuing because the show technically wasn't done; it got canceled. Like it was never completed, got no real conclusion. It was supposed to continue, and they're just finishing it, extending it. Justice League did kind of have its ending and tied everything up, so that's why they just leave it as is. But I wouldn't be against it, but I'm not going to push for it.
Plus, DC already has enough quality animation. Like DC has a ton of quality animation
either, but I think it's a better idea than Creature fucking Commandos. I don't know what he's doing.
But Creature Commandos is for the like this because this is still a Elseworld X-Men show. It's not even. I'm not sure if it's gonna. Well, okay, we don't know yet if it's gonna tie into Deadpool and Wolverine because they talk about Deadpool and Wolverine supposed to twist up the whole multiverse shit again.
Oh my god!
So I don't know. Maybe this might be tied to it in some way. Maybe they might bring these X-Men into live action and show them. I don't know. But I feel like this show is just going to only be for whatever Elseworld it's in the MCU. I feel like it's going to be nothing bigger than just the X-Men 97 universe. But yeah, let's get into the next topic. So real quick, The Boys Season 4 official trailer is out. They dropped a teaser trailer months back, but we have the official trailer here. Anything you guys want to say before we jump into the trailer reaction regarding The Boys?
I haven't seen. I kind of fell off on The Boys somewhere kind of after season 2, I think. So seasons behind.
Season 3 is the best season, honestly. Season 3 was fire.
It was so.
A lot of people said it was fire. Now a lot of people did like season 3.
Season 3 was awesome. I honestly compelling. Like, it reminded me in some ways of the quality, not the same tone or anything, but the quality of the Daredevil series. Like, that Daredevil series, especially season 3, went fucking off for him. I don't know if you, because a lot of people fell off of Daredevil because of Daredevil season 2. So I don't know if you ever saw season 3, but it went hard.
I mean, because season 2 introduced the Punisher. Everybody says like one of the best seasons. I know people fell off of 3. Like people wasn't really engaged with season 3 for sure.
No, I'm telling you, season 2, the beginning was very good, but people didn't like.
Halfway in, it got muddy. Okay.
Yeah, it got too convoluted. But like season 3 was just like it was like a thriller that you had to see the next, like what happens next, and it was the same with The Boys, really. The Boys season 3 was just like every episode it's just like, oh, I've got to find out what happens next.
Yeah, I think for me with The Boys, it was when Homelander like did that orgasm thing where he like busted a nut or some shit like that. Like, I was like, I'm not really into that like sophomore humor stuff. That kind of, I don't know. So it just kind of lost me. I mean, it was a good show. I can't really complain about the quality. It just became like, I don't know if this is for me. Kind of like Peacemaker too. I like Peacemaker. It was a good show. Peacemaker was a good show. But I'm like, I don't know if this is something I'm going to be watching season after season after season.
Right. I can feel you on that. Well, let me ask y'all this real quick before we jump to the trailer. How do you guys feel about them still extending Homelander's life in this universe? Like, do you guys think it's kind of reasonable, the amount of time it's getting extended, how the Boys haven't fully defeated him yet?
He seemed like the star character, so it's becoming like, he's becoming plot protected. Because, it's kind of like how on The Walking Dead, they can never defeat Negan because Negan was like one of the most popular characters. So it's like, can't get rid of him. So we got to keep protecting him somehow. And I hate when shows get to that point.
Why? Yeah, because are you saying in the comics that he dies? Because I read the first 2 volumes and he wasn't dead in the first 2 volumes.
Well, I mean, because I'm not going to say what's going to happen, but it is good. Homelander is going to get to a point where he does need to expire. But do you guys think how they're keeping it now? Because they might do 2 more seasons. Do you guys think it's, getting too ridiculous of Homelander living for too long, or it's the writing is so good so far that like, okay, I can see why Homelander is still a big factor in this game right now between the Boys and the Supers.
Yeah, I can't speak to that specifically because I haven't seen season 3, but I can speak to the concept of keeping a villain around too long. Like I said, I think The Walking Dead did that with Negan. They kept him around way too long, past the logical point of when he should have been killed. And once you do that, you basically jump the shark as a show. So for The Walking Dead, I don't know if y'all how familiar you are with The Walking Dead, but there was Negan killed Glenn. So there was an opportunity for Negan's wife to finally return the favor and kill Negan, and then she decided not to, only because the plot demanded it, not because of any sort of logical conclusion. And I think that pretty much helped kill off the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm liking it so far, but I don't want them to also drag this show on for too long. I think at max it was season 4, maybe 6, 7 seasons, but after that you kind of stretching it.
Mhm.
Like I don't want them to do 11 like The Walking Dead. It's like because like you said, there should have been a point where some stuff has to get them to a conclusion. Let's
I
get
think
to go
this
ahead.
should be maybe the last season almost because it needs to end. I mean, you can't just keep. Or they need a new villain. Like you're right. So go on, you can.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after because that's you made a good comment about that.
I look back at my life, and all I see are the messes I made.
I hate
Fix it.
I think he's as bad as Homelander.
Do everything right with the time I got left. But I can't do it alone. I can't do it without you. If you thought things had changed.
This country is beyond repair. So we got to save it.
Friend, you better think again.
It's not going to be easy. We'll have to do some terrible things for the greater good. You'll no longer be beloved celebrities.
But the thought in the fewest of words.
You will be wrathful gods. Show me a little wrath.
That doesn't sound good, Ashley. Oh, you know shit, Ashley. Sorry, Ashley.
The whole world is about to burn. We need someone like you, Billy, before the soups start rounding us up and dumping us off in camps.
Speaking of niggas,
I have found the answer to all our prayers. The virus kills soups.
This is insane and desperate, even for you.
Well, insanely desperate's where we are, don't you think, love?
Let's go. Chop chop, motherfuckers.
This is a biblical war, good versus evil. And I'm declaring hunting season on Star Ladders.
I can't believe this is fucking happening to me again.
Look, we've all done bad shit. What's insane is that our solution to every problem is murder. Violence isn't great.
Violence is power. That's the spirit, champ.
what it froze.
Delicious milkshake.
If we're ever going to win against monsters, we need to start acting human.
You're all fucking welcome.
Damn, June. Shit. Oh, that's next month. All right.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Who give me the shit? I will. I'll say this. I'll say this about the trailer so far. Okay, so if anyone's seen Gen V, so they're actually bringing 2 characters. Gen V was a very good spinoff. I was actually shocked by it. But 2 characters from the Gen V spinoff will be showing up in season 4. So it looks like everything is coming together actually. And also in Gen V, they did introduce a new virus that can kill soups.
They're gonna be in it. That's crazy. They're gonna put the Gen V characters. There's the black girl as well.
They're still locked up. They're still locked up. But the blonde hair girl, the one that can manipulate people's minds, she's in it. And the boy that was the boy that was the brother of the dude with the fire powers. He's gonna be in this season also.
He's OP as shit, isn't he?
I mean, he's crazy as shit. Fucking OP too. But Norman, you brought up something about introducing a new villain.
I want to
feel
say
like, I feel like there's a part of me that feels like it can be Homelander's son. That might be that because Butcher kind of killed his relationship with Ryan because he got mad at Ryan because you know, he did kill his mom, right? But he didn't intentionally mean to do it. But Butcher still holds that against him. Like, you're part of the reason your mom is dead, which is kind of unfair, but you know, he holds that against him. And he kind of soured that relationship with this boy.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying, if Ryan is with Homelander, Homelander can mold him and turn him into something. So if Homelander does get knocked out the game, Ryan might be next to step up. And Ryan is Homelander's son, which means he's going to be just as stronger, maybe even stronger.
Sure, but I was gonna say like, yeah, I mean that could be a way, but I don't think that's a good idea because that guy is iconic in the role. I mean, you can't just. You need somebody as iconic and all props.
You can't just replace him. I agree.
All props to the little boy, but he's no fucking. You know what I mean? Like, what's the guy actor's name?
Anthony Starr.
Anthony. The only person who I think even comes near to him in terms of like how great a villain he was in the show was that Captain America guy who turned out to be his dad.
Oh, Soldier Boy, yeah.
Soldier Boy. He was fucking fantastic. But apart from him, there's no character who's as strong in like the performance. And I was gonna say I hate Butcher. I don't know about you, but like Butcher's like got on my last nerve for like a while. He's so hard to root for. Like in the comic, you kind of root for Butcher, even though he's still an anti-hero. But somehow they've made him into someone who's pretty much, the way he manipulates his team, he's pretty much as bad as Homelander.
Yeah, but I mean, I do agree because once Homelander goes, the show has to go. There's nobody else you can. And Soldier Boy is not really a villain. He is just as great as he has a presence that rivals Anthony Starr's, but he's not a person I would see in Homelander's position.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying he's a villain. I'm not saying he's a good guy, but he's just a guy that's like lost. He's like Captain America. He lost a whole bunch of years of time, and he's just like trying to get back into society. He's not trying to be no villain or a good guy. He just wants to. He's just back.
Yeah.
But he does want revenge, though. So you could maybe do a season of him getting revenge on Vought, but I would kind of look at it as like an epilogue type of season. Then it would probably be like an epilogue, if anything.
But he killed those people who he wanted to kill them already.
I mean, Vaught's still not down yet because it's Vought who conspired to take him to lock him up.
Yeah.
And who's that guy? Gustavo from Breaking Bad, the actor's name.
Gustavo, just call him Gustavo.
Gustavo. His character's still alive, and he's part of the reason Soldier Boy was taken by the Russians.
True.
So yeah, he still has some more revenge he has to do. And also, who's Black Noir is back, even though he died last season. So I wonder who was the new Black Noir.
True.
Oh, it might be fucking the kid, the boy from Gen V.
Oh, really? Which boy?
That brother they found at the facility. The one is super strong and crazy.
Oh, you think he's the new Black Noir? Really?
I mean, I think just because of his abilities, that it makes sense to me. But he may not be. I don't know. But I think it could be Black Noir just to fill in because he's just as strong and durable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and they don't know that Black Noir is dead yet. So just for publicity and for the public, they got to keep a Black Noir in there because he's one of the boys' fan favorites for the public.
I mean, I'm not like super excited. I'm not super excited for this show. I mean, I'm looking forward to it in a way, but like season 3 was fantastic, and I'm sure I'm gonna get into it otherwise. But yeah, I'm just you know, I just want to see what happens. I don't really have too many theories or anything like that. Like, it's a really solid show.
Anything else
Yeah,
you
like I
guys?
said, I fell off of it. So I wish I mean, I know all the characters like Kamiko. Look like Kamiko gained some weight too. If that was Kamiko, the little Asian girl. But yeah,
The other
I fell off of it. So I don't know. I feel like I get it. Like, it's funny that you say like they need to go ahead and kill him, because it feels like they kind of stretching shit out. Like, he just hanging around and they just kind of mullying on and kind of keeping motherfuckers alive and shit like that. Like, let's get to the plot. Like, let's start resolving some conflict here. I don't like when
actually no major characters died. No major characters died, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, so like they just stretching stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, Butcher's wife died, but she got introduced in season 2.
Yeah, no character.
Not like a main character. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, no.
Frenchie died too, right? I didn't see him in the trailer.
Who?
Frenchie, the weapons expert, or the dude who knew all the weapons?
Oh yeah.
He's still alive, yeah. See, I gotta come on, but they starting to get like Stranger Things, keeping these motherfuckers alive.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. I might get back into it though, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So next topic we can hit. Do you guys want to hit the Thor topic or the Captain America: Brave New World? I think that might be interesting.
I want the Black Batman.
You want to do Black Batman?
Yeah.
All right.
Draw it up.
So Winston Duke is advocating for fans to help push. So Winston Duke is, campaigning to play Batman in the DCU. He's asking for fans to help, but he's campaigning for it. He does play Batman on some. He does play Batman on some Spotify audio like podcast.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, his Batman voice ain't that good. I'm just gonna say that.
No, he was good in that. So let's be real. He was good in that.
Well, look, I would say
that was a complete Elseworld though. He wants to play.
No, I know it's Elseworld, but I'm saying if that's his Batman voice, I'm good.
No, but I was about to defend him, but he wants to play the DCU Batman. Is he for real?
I mean, there is a Batman he can play. Wait a minute, because James Gunn does want to do Elseworld. I'm just saying the Batman he can play. There is a Black Batman, Lucius Fox's son. So I don't want him to play Bruce Wayne, but he can play this Batman, Jace Fox.
No, the one in the Spotify series is a completely different Elseworld Batman. He's a doctor or something like that. I listened to it, a little bit of it, and it was quite good. But he wasn't this Darkwing character from the comics. He was a completely different Batman.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that Batwing dude. I'm talking about he's in the Future Foundation series. This guy, Future State. If he wants to play Black Batman, here you go. You got a Black Batman.
No, I don't want to see that.
I'm not saying I want to see it either, but what I'm saying is that if he wants to play a Black Batman, there is a Black Batman. But he wants to play Bruce Wayne Batman, which I'm saying no.
No, we don't. I mean, we got enough Batman stories and Elsewhere Batmans and Elsewhere Batman villain stories. Let's just back the fuck up off of Batman for a little bit. Like, let's give Batman a little bit of a break, per se. We don't need to keep remixing Batman 700,000 fucking times. Like, let's just focus on some new characters. Let's establish some different DC stuff. Let's give Bruce Wayne a fucking break for a change.
And also, this is how I would do it. If I was running DC, which obviously, it would be in a much better state. But if I was running DC, this is how I would do it. I wouldn't even make a Batman movie for the DCU. I would just put him in the Justice League. They've already got a Batman film franchise that is doing quite well, right? With Robert Pattinson. There's no need to put in a competing Batman franchise, solo Batman franchise in cinemas at the moment. You could have him be part of the Justice League. Do a Green Lantern movie, do a Superman movie, maybe introduce Wonder Woman through her series or whatever, and then let's get to step in with the fucking Justice League. It's too late anyway. It's way too late. They fucking left it way too late to really, but maybe if by chance, by luck, there's enough DC fans out there to be interested in, a DC universe. And if, people are getting fed up with the MCU and they want something different.
I would, if we want something different, this is what I would do if I was running DC. Justice League, I agree. We would go Justice League. But what we would do is we would focus on the Injustice League. So all of the movies I will release will actually feature the villain. The villain will be the protagonist, the same way that Infinity War, the villain was the protagonist. So I would make the various characters of the Injustice League the protagonists of each movie. And then my seminal movie, when I bring everything together, will be the Injustice League. Now, the superheroes will be in the movie. Your Batmans, your Supermans, your the various different superheroes in the Justice League will be in the movie with their respective villain, but the movie will be about the villain. So I will establish all of the villains, then create the Injustice League. So that way I'm kind of doing the opposite of the MCU. And then I'll listen to the audience reaction to see what direction I go in as far as how I present the characters and everything like that. But I would focus on it from the villain perspective and move forward that way instead of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman all the time. Let's focus on establishing their opponents and then do it that way.
All the time, because Superman really hasn't got that much love, and Wonder Woman has had like 2 movies, one of which was terrible. So like, they haven't really focused on them that much. I feel like people are going away. I like your idea, by the way. That's not a bad idea at all. I think that's quite a good idea. But this isn't arguing against your point.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that if there's any interest at all, which I really think there isn't, I think there's a comic book movie fatigue. I think there's a movie fatigue going on in the world at the moment because of how serious shit is happening, with what's happening in the world, like the changes that we are going into at the moment are so fundamental existentially that watching people in capes solve humanity's problems like really quickly and easily is not probably what's going to be trendy at the moment. Plus the quality has gone down as well. Like the quality of these movies have gone down. So all in all, I think it's not going to be an easy journey for the beginning of the DCU, no matter what they do. But that being said, if there is
I'll just say this: we ain't got to worry about the Snyder fans no more. That's what they got to worry about because their fucking king made Rebel Moon too. So we got to worry about them motherfuckers no more complaining about shit.
Yeah, that Rebel Moon really killed that Snyder movement.
Oh, their credibility is fucking shot.
So look at it this way: instead of doing a Batman movie, you do a Joker movie, and a real Joker movie, not that shit your boy is doing. Like a real Joker movie. Instead of a Superman movie, you do a Lex Luthor movie. You see what I'm saying? Now Superman's in the movie and Batman's in the Joker movie, but you titled the movie after the villain and establish it that way.
That's the idea I had for I wanted that for a Batman movie. But like a Joker movie where Batman is the antagonist of the story, and that doesn't mean he's the villain. He's just the antagonist of the story. Just because someone is the antagonist does not make them the villain. They're just an opposing force. It could be the good guy, but your villain could also be a protagonist. So I think DC should really tap into doing shit like that because Marvel's not really doing it. So do that shit.
But Marvel did do it with Infinity War. That's like their best produced, one of their best movies is Infinity War, where Thanos was the protagonist and the actual Avengers were the antagonists.
Yeah, well, but that's like one out of so many.
Yeah, one out of so many. But
DC should definitely jump on doing more of that.
Right.
Because
maybe they could do that with Superman and Batman, and I don't think they should do Joker because whatever you want to say about the Joker movie, it's kind of been done, right? Like maybe they should have done it a different way.
You know, so okay.
We haven't had a movie.
Doing another Joker movie, I don't really feel that. Maybe another Batman villain you could go with.
Yeah, Freeze. We haven't seen Freeze since Arnold played him.
Yeah, the Freeze would be nice, but again, I think that whole Batman world, I don't know, man. I honestly, it's hard for me to say anything other than they should get to a Justice League movie because there's like, what else is there? Like they've done like so much build up from so many years, and there's no payoff. You know, like it's like
James gonna have to pay it off now. We got to give him a chance. We got to.
It's like the pawn without the money. You know, it's like you're building up everything, and then you haven't paid it off, and now you want us to start from the beginning again and wait another 10 years before a fucking Justice League movie. We don't even know if the world's going to be here in 10 years, or if robots are going to be taken over by then. It's like they better be getting to a Justice League movie, bro. That's the only fucking play that I can see. I doubt this Superman movie is going to make over 500 million.
With James Gunn directing, it's going to make that.
I'm not saying that because it's James Gunn. It's just how I look at it. I really think.
So it's going to because it releases around the same time as the Fantastic Four film. But
I don't think that Fantastic Four film is going to do that much money either. I don't think.
Because the Fantastic Four film also has a lot riding on it too, because it needs to be the first ever like bang up like quality Fantastic Four movie. Because the Fox had it for years and they just been fucking it up. So the Fantastic Four movie has a lot riding on it. Just how X-Men 97 had a lot riding on it too. There's a lot of expectations that they need to meet. So I wouldn't say Fantastic Four is going to be competition because Superman is still bigger than the Fantastic Four regardless of anything.
No, he isn't. Not anymore.
Superman is way bigger. Superman is bigger than the Fantastic Four.
None of them are bigger. Wonder Woman. Do you think it hurts me?
Superman is bigger than the Fantastic Four.
Iron Man is bigger than Flash.
Yeah, I don't disagree. What?
He's bigger than.
I don't know. I don't know. That depends.
Bigger than Wonder Woman. Like the way DC has organized its universe, and again, I don't think it's the quality of the films. I think it's kind of a mixture between how fans have reacted and how critics really like. There's been a campaign against DC, like from very early on. So I blame a little bit of it on that, but most of it is on Warner Brothers and how they've organized everything. And they've done such a bad job that they made so that anything with the MCU is bigger than a DC character. So if it has MCU on it, Shang-Chi may as well be as big as Superman.
I mean, but Shang-Chi made less than 500 million, though.
Sure, but I'm just saying, if it's got MCU on it, it has. If I was a betting,
and Black Widow also made less than 500 million, and she was one of the big Avengers characters.
If I was a betting person, right, and like, let me put it this way, I would give at least a 50-50 chance that any MCU movie will do better than a Superman DC Warner Brothers movie.
I doubt that. 50-50. But I'm looking at the money now.
It would be
Black Panther 2 made less than the first movie. That's abysmal. Black Widow made less than 500 million. Shang-Chi less than 500 million. The shows haven't been really resonating like they should have been.
And what did the DC movies make? You do realize,
the DC movies also have been they fell off too, but that's because since Aquaman 1, Nothing. Even before James Gunn took over, the movies were making less than like 500 million or whatever. The only movies after Aquaman 1 that did big money were Joker and the Batman.
Guess what?
And
And
those
Batman
movies were
performed as well.
the
The Batman even underperformed. As far as I'm concerned, that should have easily made. That's one of the best superhero movies of all time. Plus, it's Batman. Plus,
but that wasn't a $1 billion movie. The Dark Knight is a $1 billion movie. The Dark Knight Rises, those are $1 billion movies.
Yeah, exactly.
If the Batman had probably more action and better pacing, pacing as good as the Dark Knight, the movie would have made way more money.
Maybe, but the point is, it was a fantastic movie.
I don't disagree.
It should have got an Oscar nomination for Best Movie of the Year. That's how good I think it was, and it underperformed. So my point is that.
Well, okay, wait. Well, can you agree with this? The next film has to make $1 billion. Could you agree that the next film has to make $1 billion or at least 900 million?
Look at all of the characters: Shazam, Flash, Aquaman. Okay, I'll give them Aquaman. Aquaman for me is not as big a character, but all of those characters are bigger than the character. Shazam's more famous, like at least it used to be. Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Flash definitely is more famous than 90% of the MCU movies, main characters that have come out, like Ant-Man and whatever. And Ant-Man trounced fucking Shazam, not even like by a little bit. Absolutely trounced it in the box office. And it wasn't.
But it made less than five. Because Ant-Man 3 should not made less than 500 million though. You introduced Kang, your big main villain, and he couldn't even get the money. He couldn't even get it to touch $1 billion, close to $1 billion, man. Ant-Man 3 underperformed.
It made more than a Flash movie with Batman.
But it underperformed. But Nerman, it underperformed for the MCU. MCU movies make more than 500 million. Phase 4 has been underperforming. Phase 5 has been underperforming.
Underperformed, but then it made more than a Flash movie that has the Batman in it. It was a Flash movie with Batman, Michael Keaton.
Right, but we also have to remember,
all of the MCU.
We have to remember with the Flash film, you got Ezra Miller that's hurting the fucking movie, doing all his dumb shit. Yes, Nerman, as I told you, when the movie came out, I was going to nothing but Instagram and TikTok and looking at comments of trailers of the movie, people saying, "Oh, look, it's the Reverse Flash," referring to Ezra Miller leading the movie. That shit fucking hurt it.
And guess what? That was a campaign against DC.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of people nitpicking it to hell, complaining about his suit and stuff. Like that's not even on the movie at that point. That's just people being. That's the audience fault at that point.
They're trying to torpedo the movie, and it was
that's the audience fault at that point. Like, what can the studio do when the audience is being petty as shit and doing petty shit? Like that's petty fandom shit.
Right.
It's just like, look at it right now with the Drake and Kendrick situation, right? I like Drake and Kendrick. I love them both. It's two goats going at it. But people are okay. Kendrick makes a claim about Drake. Drake has a secret 11-year-old daughter. Okay, Kendrick, where's your proof? Kendrick's fans are just taking it for a fact, as if taking it for a fact. Drake says Kendrick beats his wife. Okay, Drake, where's your proof? Like, and people are running with it as if it's fact. It's just petty fandom shit, honestly. That's what I call, these Marvel and DC fans just being petty fucking fans. Trying to torpedo movies that don't really deserve it. Honestly. It's just audiences being slow, but also the studios need to do something fucking different. They need to give us some shit that is very different from what we normally get. I think Guru brought up good ideas, and I think you brought up good ideas too. I think they need to start doing those. And I think Warner Brothers and Disney have the money to afford to take risks. They have the money to take risks, but they're choosing not to.
Mm-hmm.
They have the funds to take risks.
You need to respond to some of these comments, bro.
Superman movie going to make bank fact at the box office next year. Tell Nerman talking about. I don't look. Nerman don't got faith in James Gunn, but it's all good though. He gonna have faith next year.
Faith in James Gunn. It's nothing to do with James Gunn. That what I'm saying. I'm talking about the state that DC is in. What was
Yeah,
that
it's
one?
in a. I mean, right now it's in a. Well,
What was
we
that?
haven't seen. I mean, right now it's in a. Well,
What was
we
that?
haven't seen the new universe yet, so it hasn't even started until Creature Commando started. But as of now, DC in the live action movies, up until what James Gunn starts doing it, is pretty shaky. It's a shaky foundation.
And what did you put something up, Belly Man Boy?
What?
You put one of the comments up and then you took it down.
What, this one? The Robot Batman's
Yeah, no,
comment?
that was one,
Or
and then there was the. There's a museum opening at Nolan. There's a museum opening up at Nolan Jimmy Hall in Terrace District, the Victoria's Secret Museum. I cannot believe they have a museum. Oh, all right, whatever.
So yeah, Winston Duke, he's advocating to be Batman. Winston Duke, I like you, but fuck no, I don't want you to be Bruce Wayne. Yes, I'm gonna say it. Bruce Wayne's a white dude. You're a black guy. Go play Lucius Fox's son, who's Batman. Like, advocate for that. This is like someone trying to advocate, a black dude trying to advocate to play Peter Parker Spider-Man. Like, bro, you know Miles Morales Spider-Man exists. Advocate for that. Why are you advocating for? Because there's no purpose to advocate
for. I'm not advocating for John Stewart or Marshall Manhunter or
Icon.
No way, dude. Like, I'm not in a bad way. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a cartoon, an animated version of that Black Batman thing that he did on Spotify.
Yeah,
because I actually think he was pretty good in that.
Batman, I wouldn't mind it.
It was interesting. It was interesting as an Elseworld. I thought that was what he was talking about, but as soon as you said he wants to be the Batman from the DCU, I was like, okay, yeah, you'll just please go away. Like, don't read a comic, and there's enough black superheroes that it would be nice if you want to play them. That would be cool. Why do you want to be? Why do you want to cause yourself that headache? I don't understand. Like, what do you think's going to happen in this particular climate with like everyone being like, oh, everything's being woke and they're turning all
and not to truly defend them. Like, I don't want no racist comments going towards him. I don't even understand. Yeah, and just make clear, I don't want no racist comments going towards him, but it's just a simple fact that, dude, you are one of the. We are popping as a black actor right now. You got an audience and you got some pull to an extent, and you're even part of Marvel Studios. Why aren't you pushing for another black superhero to get put out there? Like, there's black heroes in DC that you can easily look at that you want to play, and you're picking Batman. I get it. You're a Batman fan too. Cool. But there's a black Batman, so why aren't you advocating for Lucius Fox's son as Batman? Like, it's just,
why are you pushing for Batman? Any form of Batman? I don't know. I don't give a fuck about like some alternate. No, there should be one Batman at least establish one Batman in your universe before you go off into like the crazy shit, right? Yeah. Like, I don't want any Batman that's weird. Like, just give me a normal fucking Batman in this universe, a normal Justice League story. There's enough. There's two black guys, three if you count Vixen as well, black characters that you could use for the Justice League that will be original, unique. They have their own power sets, their own mythology, their own villains that you could set up a whole franchise around. Absolutely not. No fucking way. If you want an animated thing of that Spotify thing that you did, I'm down for that. Other than that, get out of here, man.
Yeah, we're already setting up a black hero for Justice, anyways. James Gunn bringing us Mr. Terrific as usual. So we about to get a black hero that does need some shine.
I don't think Mr. Terrific needs shine at all, but like, that's up to him. I'll see how it goes, but.
Mr. Terrific, I mean, for being one of the most intelligent black heroes in the universe.
You can't build a franchise around him. What are you going to do with like the franchise around Mr. Terrific?
No, I'm not saying you need to build. You can build a spin-off.
You don't even have any comics.
You can put part of other teams and give him a spinoff show with the Terrifics. Does he need a movie? No, but you can feature him and put him
do a TV
give
show.
him a spinoff show with the Terrifics, his team, the Terrifics.
Eat your heart out with your Mr. Terrific. I don't mind. Like, do your TV show, at least do an animated series so the filmmakers have something to go on. You've been talking about.
I think that's what he set up. I think that's what he set up. Anyways, a Terrifics TV show because Metamorpho is also going to be in the Superman Legacy movie.
Sure.
He's part of the Terrifics, so I think he's setting that up. Anyways, a spinoff TV show.
That's good. They can do that. I don't mind. But just to say, you were saying earlier that they should base it off the comics. What comics are they going to base it off of? Show me Mr. Terrific's best comics. Who's Mr. Terrific?
I never said based off the comic. I mean, that's their job. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what Terrific comic they should base off of. He's going to do that anyways. But as far as a black hero goes, this is probably one of the best ones that does need some shine because he is one of the most intelligent in the universe.
Oh yeah, I it's not the character. The character's fine. If he had like a great comic series or something like that you can base a movie franchise off, absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying give him a movie. Like I said, I'm not saying give him a movie.
Hollywood heads trying to make up their own shit about these characters. It's like, and that's what happens when they don't have comics to go off. They have to make up their own shit.
Well, James Gunn is clearly going to go off the comics, so we'll be fine.
What comics? Show me a specific comic.
Never mind. He already showed. All right, let's go to the DC site because James Gunn literally put out all the comics that these movies are based on.
Top 10 greatest Mr. Terrific comics. Go on.
I don't know. I don't fucking read Mr. Terrific like that.
So just look it up. Maybe I'm wrong. What are the top 10 best Mr. Terrific comics?
All right.
Or graphic novels?
Top 10 best Mr. Terrific comics.
Hello, Rogue. The pleasure's all yours.
A Beginner's Guide to Mr. Terrific. Look, A Faithful Encounter with the Spectre. Yeah, got a fucking reading guide for him. Yeah, but that's gonna be James Gunn. But James Gunn already has a literal list of what his universe of movies are going to be based off of with the comics. He literally did a whole, whole video explaining it.
Show me the Mr. Terrific comics in this list.
As much as I hate to begin the day like feeling dirty like this, but I agree with Nerdman. But the thing is, what James Gunn needs to do is he needs to write a good story for Mr. Terrific to elevate Mr. Terrific. And then make him a popular character, like he did with Polka Dot Man. I mean, he made Polka Dot Man someone that somebody cared about. Like that's a good thing. That's what you need to do. But you don't just sit there and say, "Oh, well, give me a good story." Like, well, there are no good stories. But that's why.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even with Polka Dot Man, first of all, it's elevated him kind of. People like him in that movie. But
yes.
It's not like people are looking up for Polka Dot Man comics now. But even still, that was part of an ensemble. You can't have that character carry its own franchise.
Well, but like DC Dot said, I mean, Mr. Terrific.
As I said, Mr. Terrific, give him a TV show with the Terrific. I'm not saying give him a movie.
Yes.
I don't think he can headline a movie. But I'm saying give him a TV show. Give him a TV show isn't bad. That's actually
that's why they have these networks to flesh out. Like if you look at the movies as being the main series, then you could look at the TV shows as being like the one shots or the tie-ins. You know?
Sure. And
all right,
I would love that, but I think they need to focus their resources very carefully because Warner Brothers is not flush at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just have to look at their stock at the moment. It's right,
yeah.
Huge amounts of.
Is he saying to do it now? You're not saying to do it now, though. DC does, right? You're just saying in the future, down the line.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying now, but yeah, introduce us to Mr. Terrific. introduce us Mr. Terrific and let us know, show us how good he is in the Superman Legacy movie to give us reason to go like, okay, I want to see him in a TV show. But if you are going to give him a TV show and spin him off into something, give him a show about him and his team, the Terrifics, because Metamorpho is being introduced in Superman Legacy also. Metamorpho is part of the Terrifics. So that's the only logical next step to do if you're going to continue Mr. Terrific. The Terrifics and Metamorpho and shit.
Well, because Mr. Terrific is like the Reed Richards of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Like he's that intelligent. Yeah. So yeah.
So show me the comics he's basing this universe off. What comics is this?
So Superman Legacy.
Well, hold on, Nerdman. You know, Gunn is going to pull from whatever appearances Mr. Terrific has had in the DC universe. You know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't reveal what comics he's going to pull for Mr. Terrific.
Right. There aren't any Mr. Terrific rebirths or anything like that. Like, you know, that there might be individual books where he makes an appearance and does a good job there, but there's nothing like character defining or something.
Yeah,
but
this is what I know for sure. Superman Legacy, All-Star Superman is the biggest inspiration behind the new Superman movie. The Wonder Woman TV show, Wonder Woman Historia, is
that's
the
a great
inspiration
comic.
behind it.
That's a great comic, but
or the Green Lantern show.
Wait. Let me go over
Earth One and Green Lantern is the inspiration behind the Lanterns.
Okay, so wait. Let's go over the last three. Okay, so first of all, what was Creature Commandos based on?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, but like Frankenstein, and he's been around for a while. They're not exactly like new characters. They've been around since the 70s.
I haven't read that one, so I can't even speak on that one. But
you don't read comic books, Nerdman. You come on here, you're like the fakest MFer on YouTube.
So go back. You go one by one. All right. So Paradise Lost. That's not Paradise Lost. That's Historia.
Right.
That's actually not bad. But Wonder Woman isn't even in that comic. That's about the birth of Wonder Woman, right? It's
right. The Amazons.
Yeah. It's about the Amazon, basically.
Yeah, that's what Historia is. It's the history of the Amazons.
Right. Exactly.
Which this show is about.
And it's a great comic.
And this can lead off into introducing at the end of it, this universe is Wonder Woman.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you introduce her into a movie or
so they need to do that
exactly. Remember exactly how Zack Snyder introduced things. I would rather have this slow burn where they're slowly introduced. I don't want him just throwing shit on the screen just to like, okay, here's Batman, here's Superman, here's Wonder Woman, here's Green Lantern, here's the Flash. Like, I want them to do like what Kate just said. I want them to introduce her in this after we get introduced to the Amazons. And
they need to do it ASAP. They need to get the script.
No, Nerdman. If they rush, you do not want them to rush into this shit. You want them to make sure that they do this correct. They need to have all of this stuff correct.
What timeline do you think they should be given to be able to produce this?
I don't know, but I don't want them. I don't want them rushing.
Paradise Lost is in the first chapter of this DCU of stuff that we know about. So this is coming like within the next 10 years.
Within the next 10 years, bro.
Yes, that's the gap of time because we gave the industry 10 years. Yeah. You know,
these comic books will be done by then, bro. Do you realize this generation don't even read comics, right?
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I'm not saying everyone does, but enough of them still read it to where they exist.
The generation that
these movies help people read. These movies help people read them anyway. It's not a lot, but it does its job. And mind you, Nerdman, remember when James Gunn announced the comic slate? No movies out yet. He sold out the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow books. He sold out some Creature Commandos comics. He sold out those Authorities comics. Mind you, books people haven't been looking at for years. Him announcing it, he sold more comics than any other DC director ever. He sold more comics than any other DC director in the history of making DC movies.
That's fantastic, and I'm glad.
The first one.
And I commend him for doing that. but these comic books were at their most popular during the like 80s, 90s, 40s, like early 2000s. People who are in their 20s
You have to remember the
and
competition.
younger,
TV wasn't.
people who are in their
TV
20s
wasn't
and
that big
younger
of a
did not
competition.
grow up with these comics, dude. They don't care.
Right, but Nerman, you have to
About
remember,
these
TV
characters
wasn't
with-
that big of a competition back then, especially in the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, like 80s, 90s when TV started ramping up. But they really didn't have that competition. And when TV came into play, that's why they had to switch shit up and come out with a Superman movie so they can at least keep the company alive.
Keep it fresh. People keep these characters in people's minds. I get that, but I just think this 10-year timeline of patience that you have, maybe because you're young. I don't know what Rogue's issue is, but
Nerman, you're gonna be here for the next 10 years, man. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know, man. The way this cough is been going for the last 5 months, I'm not even sure.
I guarantee Mike is gonna be here for the next 10 years too. You know, he'll be old.
I know Mike's gonna be here forever. He's practically a vampire, so like I don't know how long demons like last for. But, yeah, like I think that needs to be anything to do, whatever your project is with Wonder Woman, whether it's Wonder Woman as the character in a movie or whatever, or whether it's a TV show that they're going to lead up to the birth of Wonder Woman, whatever that is, it needs to be prioritized. Anything to do with Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, the main Justice League characters, Green Lantern, those need to be the things that are focused on quickly so that they can get to a Justice League movie. You need to have the Justice League movie by what is it, 2024? So I think the latest you can have it is by 2028, 29. I don't think you can afford to leave it that long. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't think Warner Brothers is going to be a company very soon. Honestly, I think they're going to get, or they're going to split with DC, one or the other. I don't know. They're in billions of dollars of debt. You realize that? Billions.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's not my problem.
Yeah, but it is if you want this content from them.
But they have the money to supply the content.
Do they?
Yes.
I mean, billions of dollars of debt.
Barbie made $1 billion. Look at the success of Dune 2, the recent success of Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Made well over its budget. Like, they're good as far as money goes. It's how they use their resources. That's the thing. For example, look at the resources they had with the Flash, and most of the VFX in some scenes wasn't done. But the problem is they could have finished that shit up, but they rushed that shit. They rushed the team working on that shit. And that movie could have benefited from having finished VFX. They didn't let them finish those VFX, and they decided to rush its release. But remember, they delayed the Flash by a whole fucking year and still released it in the state that it's in. I like the movie, but what the fuck? It's clear they had the money to do it. They just was being fucking lazy about it. And
they half-assed it. They half-assed it.
They have the money, but they half-assed with their fucking money.
Yeah. They half-assed everything. They could have not only fixed up the stuff in that movie, but they could have made it even more epic. I mean, given what the idea of the movie was, they didn't have to follow the Flashpoint exactly.
Yeah.
But given what the idea of the movie was, they could have made the stakes much higher and put many more characters in.
Could have better cameos. I mean,
better cameos, better everything. Big Bro, somebody agrees with me, so thank you, Big Bro.
I'll be 36 in 10 years. That's not old. See, Big Bro finna be here. They're gonna be fine. We all gonna be here. We'll still be on YouTube fucking arguing about how James Gunn is the GOAT and all this shit,
Well,
but let's see what other topic we got. Oh, Nerman, I think you might like this one. So Chris Hemsworth has admitted that he's ashamed of that shit he did in Thor: Love and Thunder. He said he became a parody of himself. I was shocked when he said this bullshit. I was like, finally. I love when actors just admit that they make shit. I love it.
So what's the article? Let's see it.
So Chris Hemsworth has came out and self-admitted, I fucked up. But let me get to the part of the article where he actually talks about the MCU related stuff. Okay. So this is from his Vanity Fair article. He's talking about Furiosa, how he likes being a villain, and you know how he just talks about a whole bunch of stuff. But let's get to the MCU related stuff. Okay. So Chris Hemsworth said he was 25 years old, unknown when he booked Thor. One of the greatest gifts of his life. Leone got a note from the first film's costume designer who told her of all the actors who screen tested for the role. Only Hemsworth and his younger brother Liam hung up their costumes afterward. I had to laugh. Leone tells me it wasn't necessarily what they did at home. Grateful as he was for the opportunity, Hemsworth grew frustrated playing a great Asgardian defender. Sometimes I felt like a security guard for the team, he says. I would read everyone else's lines and go, oh, they got way cooler stuff. They're having more fun. What's my character doing? It was always about, you've got the wig on, you've got the muscles, you've got the costume, where's the lighting? Yeah, I'm part of this big thing, but I'm probably pretty replaceable. Well, and to be fair, he kind of was to an extent, but that's the way he was written, which I don't blame him for. I blame the writers for not giving Thor more, even though Thor was a character you can do way more with. The first Thor movie, very underwhelming with what it could have done. It was mainly on Earth. You have this mystical, magical character that's from Norse mythology, and majority of his movie takes place on Earth.
I think there's an inherent issue with the character of Thor. I always said it, like, I don't get what's internally motivating this character to be a hero. He was a bit like, they used comedy to mask the fact that there wasn't much there, you know, beneath the surface. And also, just to kind of finish on what he's saying about like what happened with Thor: Love and Thunder, I think that was happening before with the character. I just don't think he's so OP. Him and Hulk are so OP that they did not know what to do with them. So the whole narrative of every story involving Hulk and Thor in the MCU was, how can we get them away from this conflict? Because we know that if we were to abide by what the comics say about these characters, they would be able to resolve the situation really, really quickly.
Good point.
And that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
All of those characters.
Well, and I wouldn't say it's really a problem. It's just that the movie writers don't know how to balance out these characters' power. That's why I say the movies always have an issue with power scaling, DC and Marvel, because the comics know how to power scale these characters better and keep giving people interesting stories of Superman being very fucking OP and still having conflict and struggle and all that. But these 2-hour movies can't seem to do that for some reason. I think they just don't have competent writers that know how to balance characters of immense power with characters that don't have this super immense power. I think I just think they're in more of an area where it's better for them to write characters that are not super OP in general. I think movie writers are in that field where they can't really write OP characters like that.
Well, the difference between the two things, though, is that the movies only have one movie to do it. The comic books have, 12 issues in a year, if that, maybe sometimes more. So they can, like for instance, okay, there's this thing that just happened just now called Blood Hunt, which is about vampires and all that stuff, and Blade's in it too.
Yeah, I heard about it.
they took out a pretty powerful character in the first issue, and
didn't they kill off a bunch of Avengers related characters too?
Say that again.
Didn't they kill off a bunch of Avengers related characters in the issues too? This Blade Bloodhunt thing.
Well, I mean, you want to spoil it? I mean, I can tell you.
I mean,
K-Dot always spoiling some shit.
I mean, I won't. If you guys want to read it, I won't say it. But I was hearing a lot.
It's because Marvel. He doesn't care about Marvel. He was DC. Like, oh no, you can't say anything. Marvel. He's like, yeah, they killed everybody. Everybody died.
I won't spoil it.
Okay, so yeah, there's something. There's a couple things that happen in there that like they're pretty OP. And I mean, if that's the way that the writer is gonna remove them, because I mean, like, if you think about it, I mean, even though Thor got his ass handed to him in Infinity War, like, if you had Thor being part of the main like thing on Wakanda, that shit would have ended, like, regardless of whether he had Stormbreaker or not, like, you know. So they had to figure out a way to get rid of him, you know, have him go off on a side mission.
Well, this is the thing, right? With Thor and Infinity War, I just dislike Thor up until a certain point, the part where he gets the Thanos. Mind you, he comes in here, one shots a blast from 6 Infinity Stones all at once. Hammer OP as shit. Damn, Thor is that powerful. And then he just sits there and lets Thanos snap his fingers. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, he didn't know what was going to happen. He joined the battle late. What are you talking about?
No, but he's
keep your DC bias out of this.
No,
but nah, he knew about the snap because Gamora.
Yeah, he's
told
competent
him on the
enough. Right, and mind you, Thor is 1,500 years old. He's an experienced warrior. He's competent enough to know that you should disarm your enemy of their weapon if you're trying to interrogate them.
He's an experienced warrior, but he doesn't use his brain, dude. He's stupid. What are you talking about? He's impetuous.
Remember,
he runs into battle.
Gamora said it on the ship. She was like, if he snaps his fingers, he could eliminate the universe. And Thor was on the ship.
But that wasn't a like a direct thing. Like, it was just like a. For us, it was for the audience. Like,
yeah, it was for the audience, but Thor was a part of the audience of that conversation. Like, he heard.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when Thor came in, he came in and soloed Thanos, and then they quickly made him incompetent in the midst of it. It's like you gas him up, make him the most OP in the movie, and then quickly you make him very incompetent, and he lets Thanos just win. Like, he could have literally just pulled the glove off his hand when he pinned him down or cut off his hand. You could have done that quick and then did your monologue and shit. Like, if you wanted the monologue, fine. He had the right to. But do what you're supposed to do as a warrior. Cut his fucking hand off before you interrogate him. You don't interrogate people with a weapon still on.
Well, no. Look, you make a good point, and he should have done that. But there is some, as Rogue was saying, because he's like kind of arrogant and whatever, there's some precedent to him doing that. But I actually think the way they balanced it in Avengers 1, like between all these powerful characters, apart from stupid shit like when Iron Man was going
Avengers 1 had the perfect balance. I do agree.
When Iron Man was going one up with Thor, I was like, that's really silly. He electrocutes Iron Man, and that turns him more powerful. That makes no sense. But for the most part, they did a good job of it. But also, apart from Superman in the Snyderverse or whatever, they also balanced their characters quite well, or gave good reasons within the movie for some, like for instance for Shazam, like in both Shazam 1 and 2, or Wonder Woman, say in Wonder Woman 1, they gave good reasons within the movie's own logic for why they're not using their powers at full blast, why they can't, because Shazam's a young boy, he doesn't know how to use his powers yet, right? So that's why he's not being, even though he's super OP, he can't just take out everyone and solve everything straight away. And the goddesses were good matches for him in terms of their power levels. Same with Wonder Woman and Ares, right? Like she's learning to become Wonder Woman. So there's good reasons for them not to go off. And
you don't think they did that in Infinity War when Thanos shows up and he basically handles Thor and the Hulk in the very first scene of the movie?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I like that Thanos did that, but my problem it was like, okay,
no.
Avengers 1, as Nerman said, everyone was perfectly balanced in terms of power. Hulk, they all got their shine, but slowly they got weaker. Like Hulk and Thor, they didn't progress. They got weaker. They got they went. They
Did you see that?
regressed.
Did you like Ragnarok?
Oh no, hell no.
No.
I did. I think it gets beat up on a little bit too much. I think it's better than what people give it credit for.
Okay, because the main problem that we're not addressing here is Taika Waititi. He's the problem.
Oh yeah,
you gotta get rid of him. Cut him out.
Oh, he's for sure the problem. He is for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But there's also power scaling problems within the MCU beyond that. Like, but what I'm saying is, like, in some of the MCU movies, but certainly in the DC movies, one of the things that I kind of think that they didn't get credit for was they were able to show the full scale of Shazam's abilities, for instance, or the full scale of the Flash's abilities, even still with them being so OP that you think, oh, if they had all their abilities straight away, they'd be able to solve this situation really easily. But they gave logic within the films that allowed it to be like, oh, okay, I can accept that the Flash at this point in in his career wouldn't know to turn back time and do all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of
didn't like the Flash movie. Even if people didn't like the Flash movie, one thing I did say, this is probably the first time I felt this way about a product, about a super fast character. I really didn't have any issues where I was like, why can't he just move that quick and just go there? You know, it went in the Flash movie. Like, I had the issue with the Flash TV show, even the Sonic movie, but it's like, it's one time I didn't have an issue with a speedster, because speedsters are like fully broken. It's to the point where they should never be getting caught up. They should be ahead of everybody. But, you know, I never really had that issue with the Flash movie because the way they written it, I look at it made sense. That works. But, you know, it's not the only issue. But Chris, let me read more, because Chris Hemsworth is going to tell us why he had particular issues with this stuff. So his friend and co-star RDJ won't hear such talk. First off, Thor as a character was super tricky to adapt, lots of implied limitations, but he and Ken Branagh figured out how to transcend, make him semi-relatable, but godlike, he says. Hemsworth is, in my opinion, the most complex psyche out of all of us Avengers. He's got wit and gravitas, but also such restraint, fire, and gentleness. When Taika Waititi came aboard to direct 2017's Thor Ragnarok, he was eager to tweak the Thor character as its megastar. They decided to have some fun with tone, letting Hemsworth dig into his natural comedic gifts, which the character wonderfully reduced to a god with a dad bod, wallowing and brokenhearted. Fellow Aussie Kate Blanchett, his Ragnarok co-star, loved him immediately. I first met Chris on the lot. He was driving a golf cart, his Thor locks flying, careening towards me with a huge grin of welcome. She says, I had heard he was generous, and boy, is he generous, hilarious, and as hardworking and diligent as he is handsome. But I had no idea what a goofball he is. He is a complete goofball. He sets the tone on set. Everyone is valued. Everyone is welcome. I adore and admire him deeply. And that's a complete goofball. Thor's not a goof. Like the whole set is already setting a tone to I mean, Taika Waititi made it known that he didn't give a fuck about any Thor lore, comics, or whatever. He made that very clear, but it's like, you can tell, like, why would you hire this guy? Like, why did Feige fucking hire this dude?
There's one reason. Ragnarok. That's it. That's the reason.
Yeah, I mean, even then,
and also, hold on. There's the other thing too. This is what I don't understand. I've heard people say Taika Waititi stuff, like, outside of the Marvel universe, is really good. Now, I saw that Jojo Rabbit one, and it's okay. It was okay. It wasn't like as fantastic as everybody's saying it was, but it wasn't bad. But like, I think that could be the other people.
That's the one you should watch.
Yeah, really that's what I'm saying though.
Even watching Hunt for the Wilder People, for instance, I'm not like sitting there going, "Oh, this screams Thor."
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't. It's like completely the opposite from what you would.
But that's what I'm saying. But
he might make a good Spider-Man movie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want him anywhere. No, he's done. Him and all them Rick and Morty.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying now. After now, no, absolutely not. But from if you watch Hunt for the Wilder People
Mhm.
and you never knew he'd made a comic book movie, you'd think, oh, maybe Dead, not Dead, this one that's coming out with Wolverine. What's his name? Deadpool. Maybe
Oh.
Deadpool or Spider-Man
Deadpool,
or
Deadpool
something
was
like
more his speed.
character.
Yeah,
Hold
Deadpool.
on. What you was about to say about Rick and Morty?
Oh no, all those Rick and Morty people, whoever it was they got from Rick and Morty, they need to get rid of all of them. Just gut them all, get out. Like I'm tired of Rick and Morty people. They're done. They don't know, like they don't understand, and like I'm gonna sound like Nerdman, but they don't understand the fundamentals of the characters. And like that dude, the producer from Wakanda Forever or whatever, talking about how if a writer knows the comic books or reads the comic books, that's a red flag. Like, what are you talking about? Like that's dumb. Like I can understand doing a direct adaptation of a comic. You don't want that, but like you need to know the fundamentals of the characters. Like that's just stupid. That's ignorant. Like he sounded very
I just
ignorant
think
there.
every comic book movie I've ever enjoyed has always been from like a writer who's had a writer and director. It could be either or, you know, but they've had some kind of reference to a specific story that of that character, or they delve into the lore of that character in a way that you know that they've read the comics to some extent. I can't think of one that I love that doesn't have that. That doesn't mean that's everybody. Like some people like things like Shang-Chi and whatever, but just me personally, it's like it's very clear when you can see that the director or the writer is somewhat familiar with the source material, and when they're not.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that the Rick and Morty writers are actually good writers on the Rick and Morty show. So maybe outside of the show with different material, they're not as good.
So then
But
again,
I've
it's a
I've
Taika
seen some
Waititi thing. Then I guess
Yeah, I've seen some very well written Rick and Morty episodes that were like written fantastically. So you would think that they would have the skill set, but then you put them in a different arena with different characters, and then they just kind of completely lose the plot. So
Yeah.
it's strange.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then that's how, and I think the same thing happened with Taika Waititi because there he wasn't the person that should be doing Thor or writing it. I mean, at least he directed Ragnarok, and I would say that was okay, but he wasn't responsible for the story, and because he wrote that, him and somebody else I forgot wrote Love and Thunder, but that was bad. It was bad.
I just thought Ragnarok was silly as well, to be honest. Like,
I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I don't disagree, but I'm saying between the two, that had more of a comic book accurate, comic booky story than like Love and
I didn't
Thunder.
mind the visual.
Love and Thunder was awful. Yeah.
All right, so we're about to get to the moment of peak. Thank you, Chris Hemsworth. I love that you said this, man. I feel like when I speak facts, I speak facts.
Why do you love this? Why?
I'll tell you why. So I gotta read this. Downey calls Hemsworth work.
Like it doesn't do like.
Wait.
Oh,
Let me cook. Downey calls Hemsworth work in Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame a formidable hat trick. But then came Love and Thunder, for which Hemsworth still cannot forgive himself. Yeah, you better not fucking forgive yourself for that shit. I got caught up in the improv and wackiness, and I became a parody of myself, he says. I didn't stick the landing. Thank you, Chris Hemsworth, for saying, just echoing words. And I love this, man. I told you, when I speak facts, I speak facts. And he knows I speak facts. But I would say the problem
again,
started,
he said Downey's work in...
Yeah, no, so Downey calls Hemsworth work in Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame a formidable hat trick.
Robert Downey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I don't agree. I mean, because okay, I think Infinity War. I think Infinity War 4 was good. Like he was better than he was in Ragnarok and Endgame. Endgame, I don't know what the fuck that was. Like they straight up disrespect. Thor his character was whack in Endgame. Ragnarok, I mean, yeah, you wanted to spice it up and do something different, but still, that's where the problem was starting. That's where the problem was beginning, and now look where we're at with Thor.
I think that it started from it started from Infinity War, but even from before then, like these characters were just they were parodies of what was in the comics, and I don't know, I don't understand the love that people have for them. Honestly, like the Thor that we got in Infinity War was nothing to do with the comic character, and
Well,
even if
he
it
also didn't seem like
even
the
if
one
it
in
wasn't
Ragnarok.
anything to do with the comic character, which is fine. I don't
Right,
mind that.
but Nerdman, could you agree that
It
he also
wasn't
didn't seem
an
like the one in
improvement on the
Ragnarok
comic
either?
character.
Nerdman,
Huh?
could you agree that he didn't seem like the one in Ragnarok either? Because the Russo brothers directed that Thor, and he was not as goofy at all in Infinity.
Yeah, I think Infinity War Thor works very, very well for the story. He kind of was the antagonist to Thanos, the lead antagonist to Thanos in Infinity War, and I think his arc, as far as being somber about his brother and a little bit of losing his self-confidence, I think that juxtaposed well against to what Thanos was doing. So I think the Russo brothers did a great job with positioning Thor in Infinity War, even though Ragnarok and even in Endgame, his character kind of went back to that silly bullshit. But I think Infinity War was actually some of the best Thor that we got in the entire Infinity Saga.
Well, yeah, it was, but that isn't saying
it was a better balance. It was a better balance that I like.
He was still on the ship making jokes with Firefox or whatever his name is from the Guardians.
You talk about Star-Lord, but he really wasn't making jokes as much as he's just responding comedically.
Well, whatever. He was responding comedically. It was like a big joke between him, and then I don't know. It was fine.
Right, but compared to this, I mean,
what about his time with Rocket Raccoon, where Rocket had to kind of break down to him, and Rocket gave him the eye and stuff? I mean, I found that to be pretty good when him and the stuff Thor and Rocket did.
I've gone a bit easier on that movie since, like, when I first saw it. I really didn't like it at first.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
He hates everything. He's like DC Dots except British.
Like, look, I'll just say this: shit like this we was not seeing up in Infinity War. Like, this is the goofy shit I'm talking about. This goofy shit here, like Looney Tunes slapstick type of shit. Like, you got the shit up in Endgame and this movie and Thor, Endgame, Ragnarok, and Thor 4, but he wasn't doing goofy slapstick Looney Tunes shit like this in Infinity War.
But you did like the Hulk better in here, though, didn't you?
No.
No.
Two of these. I wanted Hulk to win that fight. Hulk should have won that fight.
Hulk should have won because this is the last time we've seen a decent Hulk. I mean, after this, he gets his ass whooped by Thanos, and we never see the Hulk again. So they should have gave him a big moment in Ragnarok if they were basically going to kill his character off for all intents and purposes in Infinity War and in the Endgame.
We haven't seen a good Hulk since Avengers 1.
Right.
Or Incredible Hulk.
And that wasn't, I mean, it was good. It was good, actually. Avengers 1 Hulk was good. The Hulk movie, okay. But I'll still take Bill Bixby over any of it. I'm sorry. That's just me.
I mean, 2003 Hulk is probably the best adaptation you can get. It just didn't have a good director and writer behind it. Well, I had a good director. The writing behind the movie was, because the 2003 Hulk movie did have a good.
You mean with the Hulk dogs?
Huh?
With the Hulk dogs? Are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a good adaptation of Hulk. That's probably the most accurate adaptation of Hulk we've probably seen. Yeah, down to power, visuals, the way his ability is supposed to be used. That was probably the most accurate. Even the way he jumps, he was jumping across, the mountains and stuff. That was accurate.
Sure.
I'm not saying the rest of the movie, like the whole shit with his dad and him being an absorbing man, like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it was not great, to be fair. It was kind of like the Ghost Rider movies, maybe a little bit better, but maybe I
didn't hate Ghost Rider 1. I didn't hate Ghost Rider 1. Ghost Rider 1 was not as bad as 2, but it was good at the time it came out.
I just think filmmakers don't know how to deal with OP characters. That's
I don't think they do
sense.
either. I
They
think
really
depending.
I wanted to make a point on that as far as OP characters in filmmaking, because a lot of the MCU and then even in other OP characters, they try to distill the character for a general audience. And I think part of them distilling the character is kind of shrinking them down so people can kind of follow along and understand them, which is a mistake. But I think that's what they're thinking when they shrink down the Hulk and shrink down OP characters. They feel as if audience members, general audience members can't really fully concept the power of an OP character.
Yeah.
Or they can't relate to them because
I think they get stuck on. Oh, go ahead, Never. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying they don't think they have enough obstacles because they're so powerful that they believe that they can overcome all the obstacles. But as I said, like with the Shazam movie, for instance, if you just have them OP, but you give an inner logic within the movie of why that character is OP but can't use their powers like to that degree, I think that's absolutely fine. And whereas Thor doesn't really have that in the comics, he's kind of just fucking OP. The Hulk certainly does. I mean, when you think of the Hulk and the fact that he can't control his powers, and when he's, he's Dr. Banner and then he becomes the Hulk, sure, he'd be able to deal with the bad guys probably a bit easier than
where Sonic 2 left off with Knuckles on Earth looking for a new purpose.
Thank you.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I did not mean to play that.
It's okay. I finished the point. I was just saying, like, that dichotomy between him and Dr. Banner gives him enough obstacles and problems. And if you put him against a powerful enough foe as well, that's one of the things they don't do. Right? I think is like you need to give a sufficiently powerful foe, like Thanos, for instance, so that these more OP characters can shine. Because then they have a boss that they can use their powers against.
True. I think, and I think didn't bounce up there. I think there's some movies where they pair up the wrong heroes to the wrong villains at times. I think, like for example, Superman, you can get pretty versatile with the villains because you want a villain like Lex who's not as strong but he uses brains. You can throw a Lobo at him to match his bronze.
Brainiac.
But like sometimes they'll match up like Ant-Man and Kang. Well, Scott Lang, Ant-Man and Kang. Like, what type of matchup is that? You'll match up fucking the thing of a DC movie.
Well, but he had the ants with him though, and those are giant sized ants. Ants can their power, the strong as they are when they're small. I mean, he enlarged them. They didn't beat Kang. They just overwhelmed him. It's kind of like the whole thing. How you guys stop? It's kind of like how you guys talk about what's her face taking out the Kingpin. She didn't beat the Kingpin, man. She survived him. Okay.
Don't you dare bite. All right. Well, let me use Infinity War and Endgame for an example. I think this was two issues I had. Infinity War, right? Thanos came in a beast at the beginning of the movie, and them making him too merciful kind of downplayed some of the brutalness he should have been portraying, right. Like turning the Star-Lord and them into bubbles. Then Endgame comes in, mind you, he has no. Wait, let me finish. Endgame comes in. Thanos has no Infinity Stones. Thor has 2 hammers. Iron Man has his best suit that he has. Captain America he has his shield. And they're losing to a fucking Thanos from 2014 that has no stones. He just has a sword. And mind you, I like Endgame Thanos. He was a fucking beast, but I'm like, wait a minute. So Thor and Infinity Stone blast, and then he's struggling with 2 hammers of equivalent power against an Endgame against a Thanos with just a fucking sword.
Poor power scaling.
So it's like some of these movies in general, they just match up the wrong heroes with the wrong villains. I think like Thor, his villains should be villains that match him in terms of superior magic or bronze. Like that should be his villains. I don't want to really see Thor. You have to get outmatched by a Lex Luthor type of villain.
I think when it comes to villains and superheroes, K-Dot, I think the best matchup is not just power scaling. I think it has to do with the ideological clash between the two. If you can position that ideological clash effectively, it's easier to power scale both the villain and the hero. Like if we look at Goku and Frieza. Frieza was afraid of the Super Saiyan transformation. That's why he blew up Planet Vegeta in the first place. So here comes Goku representing the ideological, difference between what Frieza thought about Saiyans in the first place. So when you can you can look at Batman and Superman from The Dark Knight, the ideological clash between the Joker and Batman. When you can get that right, then the power scaling kind of works itself out. But when you have characters who are just fighting for the good and protecting humanity and a villain who just wants to destroy the universe, then you're always going to be off with that power scaling.
Right.
I think you're absolutely right. I think a good example is all the Batman villains, obviously, like the Riddler in the last Batman, or the Joker, or even Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. The Spider-Man villains as well. Like there's always like a kind of ideological conflict there that allows the conflict to be much more personal than just like who can punch who, right? It's like they're trying to win an argument almost throughout the movie.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, Peter could have easily knocked out Doc Ock with like one punch. He's not a super durable being, but Doc Ock intelligence and the way he navigated in that movie allowed for him to still keep up with Peter. Then Peter also knows it's like a guy that he doesn't really want to hurt that bad too, because he's a guy that's kind of like sick and he wants to help him too. He doesn't want to.
I like Lex and Superman. When Lex making a point was saying we have to be careful for guys like that. We can't just worship this man as a god because he's capable of doing, horrible things to the planet, while at the same time coveting his actual power and coveting the power of Superman. He's almost jealous of him in a way, but at the same time he presents to the people that we have to protect ourselves from Superman, and we can't just allow him to be our protector. That's a belief system that drives the villain, and a belief system that the hero must combat. So I think that needs to be at the core of a superhero or any villain hero dynamic, is an ideological clash, and that really kind of helps settle out the power scaling.
And again, I'm going to sell the Shazam movies again. Very similar thing, right? Like in both of those movies, not only did they give in the second movie, they gave the villains actually unique powers that would actually challenge, the superheroes. Like there was this one who could, Axis or whatever, basically change the fabric of the world so they're seeing things differently. Or take away their powers and stuff like that, but also the personal relationship of like this is a guy who has a found family, right? And he's fighting a guy whose family basically has abused him, and that's why he seeks power, and then they have that conflict over that. So I think there's all types of good examples of this in movies, and it helps the story along. It helps the emotional stakes of the story when there's an ideological conflict there. Superman Brainiac as well as in the comics is a perfect example of where you've got a powerful enough villain, but also the ideology of the villain helps the story along as well.
And that's what now let's look at an example like Black Adam. There was no ideological clash whatsoever between Black Adam and whoever the fuck the villain was. So Black Adam is an example to the opposite, where it's like there's nothing there for Black Adam to be fighting this villain, where the villain is just a villain for villain's sake, and then Black Adam's supposed to be an anti-hero. So you got a villain and an anti-hero. And it's like, wait, what? Huh?
I think that there was the ideological difference between.
That's why I think the JSA should have just been the antagonist. The JSA should have just been the antagonist. There should have been He should have been this
The villain. He should have been the villain, and they were the his antagonists. That would have been better. But there was an ideological conflict between them, I think, more than with, you're right, the actual villain.
Yeah, I'm speaking more towards the actual villain. The JSA, there was ideological conflict there, a lot there. But that actual demon villain guy, whatever the fuck that was, there was just nothing there.
Sabat,
yeah, it was just.
I don't know why he was fighting him. I don't like. They probably should have joined forces, given like, I guess their belief system. I guess he was just fighting them because he wanted to save the woman or the kid or whatever.
Which is always that's a weak motivation, you know, save the woman, save the kids, save the world. It needs to be deeper than that.
Yeah, I didn't hate that movie like the way some people do, but I see what you're saying. Absolutely.
I did. I hated it because of the lost potential element. So not only was it not good to me, but the fact that it could have been even better, what made me dislike it even more. Because a lot of people were hyped about the concept of The Rock playing Black Adam, but then we finally get a movie that was so underwhelming that potentially had a lot of potential behind it. It just really kind of, you know, soured me on the whole thing, and you know, it kind of fucked up the whole franchise, flopped the whole DCEU, killed it.
Yeah, I think as well, it's kind of perplexing because if you look at the backstory of Black Adam, it was perfect for the Shazam family because Shazam had actually become stronger through this found family that he had, and the reason Black Adam was so angry is because he'd lost his family, right? Like they killed all of his family, so there was much more of an inherent ideological or emotional kind of difference between those two characters, where there could have been a lot of, you know, like emotional debate about like why he's doing what he's doing and why it's wrong between him and Shazam than, you know, anything else. But missed opportunity, I guess. I'm very excited. So, Robot Batman 23 says, I'm very excited for the Authority movie. The characters are cool. Should be lit.
It's going to be peak. James Gunn is directing. But not James Gunn shouldn't direct it. Somebody else should. But I got another topic. It's going to be quick. This does not need to be long. So Captain Falcon gets a new suit and the Red Hulk promotional art has been revealed.
Okay.
So let's look at what Harrison Ford is Red Hulk.
Harrison Ford is playing Red Hulk?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Red Hulk. Hold up. Captain America.
The angrier he gets, the hotter he gets, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the concept of him. I have not seen any Red Hulk lore in a while, so Mike would have to catch us up.
I'd fallen off of Hulk comics by the time Red Hulk came around.
Where the fuck is it?
Mike, is that right about the Red Hulk's powers? That the angrier he gets, the hotter he gets?
All right, so these are the new suits they dropped about Sam and the newest Falcon, Captain Falcon Jr. So yes, Captain America and Falcon. That's his new suit, and that's his buddy Falcon. And these are the toys, basically showing us Red Hulk and characters. But there's promotional art that shows his face. Let me find the promotional art. All right, so it should be here. Yep. So this is what Red Hulk's basically gonna look like in the movie, and Harrison Ford will be taking over as Red Hulk since William Hurt passed away. But honestly, the only thing I have to say about this is why the fuck are they changing his new suit so fucking fast? Like, he literally just got a suit that's like comic accurate as fuck, and then you basically give him a suit that Steve Rogers would wear. Like his Falcon and the Winter Soldier suit looks like something that he would wear and not Steve.
I just, yeah, I don't know.
And then basically, this suit is made from like Wakandan technology. So what the fuck did he just downgraded to some like is this suit Wakandan tech? Is it better than Wakandan tech?
Probably.
Because what tech does he have that gets better than Wakandan tech in the MCU right now? And it's definitely not coming from Iron Man because Iron Man's dead. So what's up? But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say on it. It was no reason to change out of this suit so fast. You only seen this suit in one episode too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But this is a better look at it. It doesn't look bad. Let me say this. It does not look like a bad suit. It just was unnecessary. But we know they got to sell toys. You know, we live in an age now where superhero movies got to sell toys. But I just miss the good old days when they didn't change the superhero suit every single film. So yeah, I kind of miss those days. I ain't gonna lie. It's made out of Freedomite alloy. I need to Google Red Hulk. Don't really know that much about the version. Red Hulk looks terrible. I mean, we just seen his face, guys. We don't know what else we have for Red Hulk. But, you know, that's his face, Harrison Ford. I wonder what his voice is going to sound like, because Harrison Ford's an old-ass motherfucker. That shit going to sound wrinkly and raspy. You have a raspy old man voice. But Nerdman, do you think Red Hulk's going to be the villain of this movie? Because I'm like, why is Captain America fighting like Red Hulk? Like, it should be a Hulk movie. It sounds like a Hulk movie, and it should be a Hulk movie.
That's also a very good point. Why is he fighting that character? I have no idea. I'm not watching it, so I don't know. What movie is it again?
The Captain America Brave New World movie. So Captain America 4.
Oh, okay. I'm not watching it, so I have no idea. The only MCU movie I'm watching from now on is the X-Men. And if it's too confusing, because I don't understand how it connects to the rest of the world, I'm just done.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, hey,
reboots. Maybe if it reboots, then I'll be interested again. But I'm not interested in that. It's too complicated. I have to watch 20 series, all of this shit, Captain Marvel 5 or whatever, and then just to understand what's going on. Not me, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they said for Deadpool and Wolverine, you don't need to watch the past MCU movies to know what's going on. So
I might watch Deadpool.
We gotta watch. You gotta watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Why would you not?
Because I've never been into Wolverine that much. I'm a Gambit guy.
But the X-Men's gonna be in it.
Yeah, but it's the movie X-Men. They're trash.
But they're gonna be in their X-Men 97 suits and shit, baby. I don't know. I look, Nerman, I guarantee you they're gonna be in their X-Men 97 suits and not those ugly leather suits.
I don't care. It's not the suits. The suits was never the problem with those X-Men movies. In fact, I kind of want
they might make them. Halle Berry might be might be awesome. Who knows? I don't know.
Why the fuck do I want to see Halle Berry as Storm again? What nostalgia do I? How can you have
we gotta give her a chance, Nerman. Come on, man.
Those people who were marking out about George Clooney at the end of the Flash movie, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That brought me back.
Nerman, I remember they was clapping in my theater. Like, who the fuck is clapping for George Clooney as Batman? He fucking sucked. Everyone in my theater was clapping when George Clooney came out in that Flash movie. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is not the Batman we should be clapping for.
The only person I want to see in that new Deadpool movie again is Domino, because she was actually tight in the second movie. I liked the second movie of Deadpool. I thought it was actually quite good. I didn't love the ending.
I felt the first one was better than the second. Second movie was, second movie felt like Guardians 2 for me. Like it kind of went off the rails compared to the first. But you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was not bad.
I disagree. I think the second movie was actually a little bit funnier and the jokes were a little bit more polished. I like the second one, but the first one was okay. I don't like Deadpool as well. Deadpool irritates me as a character. And to be fair to the movies, this is to do with me not liking the character, because they actually did an excellent job of adapting that character. I think he's actually a little bit less annoying than he is in the comics, in the movie. They give him more heart, more substance. But yeah, the second movie, the reason I liked it was because of Domino, mainly. I love the way they used her powers. It was like, oh, an X-Men movie that actually the X-Men are using their powers. And they're cool and interesting powers, rather than all those X-Men movies where basically it was just Wolverine and Magneto. They might as well have just called those movies Wolverine and Magneto, the movie. Because they were the only ones using their powers in an interesting way.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It was the Wolverine movies featuring Wolverine X, Professor X, and Magneto movies featuring everybody else. But let me also say this to back up multi-topic. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they hired Harrison Ford. The motherfucker can die at any point. So I don't know why they decided to cast this old ass. I hope he doesn't die so soon, but he's gonna fucking die at some point. You cast this old ass motherfucker who can barely.
Like he was older than the Hurt guy, wasn't he?
Yes, he's way older. Harrison Ford is 81.
And how old was William Hurt?
William Hurt was in his 60s when he passed. Yeah, William Hurt was 2022, born 1950, age 71. So he was 10 years younger than Harrison Ford.
Adam Collier, not only did Cyclops deserve better, all of them deserve better. So Storm, Gambit, Rogue. Rogue got oh my god. The way she got fucking done in those X-Men movies, it made me sick. I remember watching them in the first one in cinema and just being like, I'm not interested. And they're lucky. They're lucky because I went to see X-Men 2 and 3 in the cinema. And they're lucky the internet wasn't around, because the only reason I went to see those movies, I didn't see the trailers. I just knew that the next X-Men was coming out.
Yeah.
Back then, you only saw the trailers if it came in during the adverts on TV, so it was completely random, right? So the only reason I went to see those movies in cinema was out of some hope that maybe I'd missed something and that Gambit was going to show up.
Yeah, honestly, if the internet was not as prevalent as it was, a lot of movies would be doing better than they are. A lot of movies that are not making money would be making money, honestly.
Absolutely.
He's my favorite X-Men from the X-Men. Multi-Topic said Nightcrawler is his favorite X-Men. They did Storm and Rogue dirty back in 8 Facts. Yeah, I think for Deadpool and Wolverine, James Marsden's going to be back, but watch, he's going to be back in an X-Men 97 suit. and probably written in a manner that is more befitting of Cyclops in the movie. It's going to be short. It's going to be a cameo, but they're going to give you the X-Men we want to see for a brief time, hopefully. If Ryan Reynolds hasn't shown up in them ugly ass leather black suits and shit, man, fuck this movie. But they better show up better show up and do their thing. We'll probably hit one. I mean, I have one side topic. It can be our last one. It's actually about a bigger issue in general. So not sure if anyone knows. I'm gonna get the video up, but streamers are getting very popular now. You got people like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, and many more that just stream, and people are heavily enjoying them. Kick is a platform, which is a streaming platform for gaming and stuff. And one streamer on there goes by the name Neon, supposedly did a little hit and run live on stream. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it.
Wait, so what the? Oh, we're good. All right, lock this in with me. When he reveals his identity, do it on my stream. Locked. I bet. We locked, chat. Throw away the key. What the fuck are you doing?
So just to clarify, this hit and run is live. Like, he's live streaming this all live right now. The guy who's in the car, they're live streaming this right now.
Oh my god, yo, you tweaked. You're tweaking. Okay. Okay, Screech. All right, you don't lie to me, but we have to build a trust.
All right, so this is
Nerman, I'm not sure if you heard so far what happened, but a streamer named Neon just publicly did a hit and run live when streaming it and promoting a hit and run that he did on live. He's driving with somebody that splits traffic, which is very reckless to do, and he was streaming this publicly, like for views and stuff. So that's what we're talking about right now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's that video you were showing?
So this is, well, let me just start it back so you can see it. They're going to talk about this.
And this is what I was telling you. What did I tell you about that kid that was shouting at his mom or whatever? I'm telling you, people will do anything to go viral on YouTube.
Yep.
Or viral on the internet.
Because that's the age we live in now with the internet and stuff. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to get clout.
Yeah. So what was this? Show it. Because I'm going to go after this. But go on.
Yeah, this is going to be the last topic. But let me play the video.
Wait. Okay, wait, so what the? Oh, we're good. All right, lock this in with me. When he reveals his identity, do it on my stream. Locked. I bet. We locked, chat. Throw away the key. What the fuck are you doing?
Is he trying to run people over?
Wait, what you saying, Nerdman?
Is he trying to run people over? I don't understand what he's doing.
So what he's doing is he's splitting traffic. It's a lot of people. I'm not a lot of people. Some people do is people that love driving sports cars and stuff. What they do is they try to split traffic. So they'll basically try to split between two cars that's kind of close to each other and go in between them. And they keep splitting. And they do it very quickly. It's very dangerous.
Sure, but Is that what they're trying to do, or are they trying
That's
to
what
run
he's
something?
trying to do. He's trying to
And
split
then,
traffic.
and then he accidentally hits someone, or what?
He's going to hit somebody intentionally. Like he's going to cause an accident. You're about to see it. Just give it a moment.
Oh my god, yo! Oh my god, yo! You tweaked! You're tweaking! You're tweaking! Okay. Okay, Squeeze. All right, but you don't lie to me. But we have to build a trust.
All right, so this is a streamer Neon.
Man, come on! Okay. All right, we're good. Calm. Oh my god! Oh my!
See what he just did?
Bro, he hit a car and then
No, he caused the car to hit him. So when he jumped over, a car that was already coming hit him in the back.
and then he went off.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hit and run it.
But they're not done. They're going to get into another accident.
Everything is 100%.
Drop me off.
We're good. Everything's fine.
Come on. Come on, give me my phone. No. Come on, bro. Get me out of here, bro. Come on. Hell nah, bro. What the Bro! Stop, bro. Stop. What do we do? We need to get... Huh? What do we do? Bro, we need to go inside some... Come here. Come on, bro. Come on.
And this is what it means to be chronically online. You're trying to get away and you're still recording the whole thing. You're literally telling on yourself, like, come on, dude. This is what it means to be chronically online. You get so fucking dumb. He's trying to run away and say, come on, man. And then he's going to tell him, don't put the camera down so you don't show everybody where we're going.
Come on. Bro, we just crashed. I can't be on the street like this, bro. I need to... What the fuck? Stop. Shut up. Put your camera down. Stop.
Cole, if you want to come join us, go. Come in.
What are you doing, Modine?
We got.
Are you okay?
What the hell is happening right there? Why is he? Hold up.
Maybe he's just barfing. Maybe the stress got him to him and he's just puking.
See that, Nerman? Look.
He fucked up his car.
Nerman, look at what he did to the other car. Nerman, you there?
Yeah. I saw it.
All right.
Oh, he fucked up his car.
Yeah, and is
that a Lamborghini?
That's a Lamborghini Urus.
Okay, you know.
Right.
The angle that you saw hitting was inside a taxi. Was a dash cam from the taxi. Means that the taxi knows because they link that,
or
he just posted it,
or they're all part of it.
Yo, Neon, you good?
Bro. Yo. What the fuck was that, bro?
Bro, and the kid behind us, bro, was just flying, and he was in a Lexus with bad brakes, bro. So what you saw, bro, Squeeze maneuvered through it. He was doing everything right.
They didn't have the cab's dash cam.
No, they didn't have the cab's dash cam.
Okay, so they're not part of it.
No, they're not part of it.
So what happened was there was two cars racing. Neon is in one of the cars. You see the second car. The one that Neon's in is the one that hits the person. Neon's in the white car. They're driving. They get hit by the other racer from behind, and then that caused their car to hit it. Okay.
And then they left.
To be honest with you, this doesn't change anything because all this behavior is a result of you being really dangerous and reckless and not caring about nobody's life. But I think it's just good to at least get the sequence of events so everyone knows what's going on.
Traffic.
So to be clear, the yellow car is not part of it. This is a hit and run.
Bro. But bro, he told me he wasn't gonna go fast. He told me we were just going home.
I know we were just chilling, bro. You know, literally, bro. You saw we had everything under control. The brakes were completely fine. It was the Lexus behind, bro. He fucking bro.
No. Let's see when they first get in the car. So he says he's not gonna wild out. Let's see what happens.
A car like this, bro. First was a 2023 Lambo, bro. This shit is safe as and two. He's not gonna wild out. We were bugging out yesterday. You're in the car. We're trying to stop.
Okay, no, because I literally I get it. Because on Kick, like reckless driving, I'll literally get banned. Like if any reckless driving, I'm banned.
I get it. Look, just so you understand, we don't want to be a brand risk. We want to look good, and we want to work with you in the future, and we want to work with everybody else. You know, so we're not trying to.
Because this is well before any of the shit happens. Watch.
What's happening? Cole, is that you?
This what it means to be chronically online. My gosh, just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Things people do for views.
Like what do you call it? Protagonist syndrome.
He think
what the hell is going on? Why is he? So he's screaming like, stop! Does he want them to stop? Or he
I mean, well, so this streamer Neon, he's like, this dude is so trash. Like,
Didn't he threaten to like? Didn't he threaten to sexually assault a kid?
Onzo might be right about beating kids when I watch this.
Like, this is one kid out of many, man. You know, look, all right, maybe he deserves a whooping. But to be fair, he's an adult, so like it's different. So yeah, you can definitely
But
be.
then again, maybe he was whooped, and that's the reason he's doing this shit. So
yeah, no, he's like threatened to grape a fucking kid on stream before. I remember that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's
so
just
yeah.
a psychopath. He's basically.
But like, he's literally like that individual that like is always on their phone, doesn't even know how to like interact with people and shit. He's just he's such a dweeb. He's such a fucking dweeb. And mind you, I don't know if the platform he is on is going to actually punish him, but it doesn't seem like it. But maybe the platform itself might get taken down due to what he did here, because he just committed a serious crime on live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
look,
yeah,
it could be in jeopardy from it. I don't know.
And then he posted it on his channel promoting it. Squeeze takes Neon for a drive. He's literally promoting the crash and the reckless drive.
Imagine that dislike ratio.
Are you sure you should be showing this?
I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna get taken down for it. I'm not doing the crime.
No, I know, but like, shouldn't you just call the cops or something?
I mean, well, I don't think no one's going to do anything about it because I mean, YouTube's.
You call the cops, they will.
I mean, I think someone already. I ain't calling the cops on it. Ain't my job. I'll let the law deal with it. They be watching the internet and YouTube and shit.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't know this shit. They're gonna kill someone if they keep doing shit like that.
Well, he's gonna keep doing it, and I just hope that he does get dealt with because some of these streamers are wilding out. People need to get consequences for their actions. That's all I'll say, and he definitely needs them.
Sure.
All right. Final topic.
There's more? No. I want to say but
What's up, Nerdman?
You said there's another topic?
No, I said that's the last topic because I got to get some rest.
Yeah. Carl, why'd you always come on like 5 minutes, like before we're gonna leave?
Well, I was on another stream with Frozala, so that's why I was late.
You were what?
I was on another stream. That's why K-Dots was there for a little bit, and also because I keep forgetting to check Facebook. So.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go big day tomorrow, learning how to ride a bike on the Vietnamese streets. It's fucking wild, bro. It's like the Wild West the way these guys ride, man. The other day I was just out like riding with a friend, and like where he's riding pretty fast, and I'm like, which you have to. It's not his fault. But I'm aware that, like, there's nothing I could do about this, honestly. I tried to get, like, a taxi or something, but where I was, there was no taxis coming from there. And this guy had been drinking a little bit. He wasn't drunk, but he'd been drinking a little bit, and he's on this moped, driving really fast. And everyone does this, apparently, here. And then it's this busy fucking road, and this chick just walks out with a pram across this busy road where everyone's driving at like really fast speed, and just walks across with her baby. And I'm like, I like nearly freaked out. Like I was like, if I was driving, I would have slid off the road. My instinct would have just made me turn.
Yeah. A lot of people do that in my city, but yeah.
No, you ain't seen it like this, bro. This was like what do you call it? The fuck is it called? What it's the fast lane or whatever, right? Where it's the big lane. And like there's lots of cars and traffic going now.
Yeah.
But the fast lane essentially. Like it wasn't like a normal road.
So it's like the freeway and shit.
Like the freeway, that's what you guys call it, yeah. Not quite like the freeway, but like it,
Wait, maybe it's normal for mothers and their babies to casually walk across the freeways out there.
Yeah, man, I guess, yeah, but like because apparently they freak out if you just have to cross the road anywhere, and they freak out if you stop. You have to just find a way to walk across all the traffic. It's super dangerous. I don't want to drive here, honestly. I wouldn't mind driving a car here, but like, because at least I have a seatbelt and shit. But like, driving the motorbikes or the mopeds, I'm super worried about it, but I'll have to get to work. I'm gonna be like driving Miss Daisy though, like super slow. Anyway, you watched the freaking O.J. Simpson thing I sent you. I want you to tell me about that.
I got you. I'm gonna watch it.
Why haven't you watched it yet?
Because I've been busy.
Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna peace out. You guys know where to find me anyway. But peace out, guys. Enjoy.
Yeah, we about to go ahead and close up. Thank you all for coming through. I'll catch you all later. It goes for that peace, love, positivity, all that jazz. Don't do drugs, guys. Like we always say. Deuces.